From Amateur Radio Newsline Report, number 2109, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, April 4th, 2018. Our top story this week comes from New Zealand, where a dozen or so members of the Amateur Radio Emergency Communications Group joined in a weekend effort to find a woman who'd been missing for 3 months.
It began as a training exercise by members of the Amateur Radio Emergency Communications Group, part of the New Zealand Association of Radio Transmitters. But the drill turned real after its participants discovered the body of a young woman who had been missing since December. More than 100 land search and rescue professionals had been deployed in the Ashley River area near Rangiora, just north of Christchurch. AREC section leader Richard Smart ZL4FZ was one of them. The hams were in constant contact with one another over amateur frequencies and with the New Zealand Police and Landstar search team members on emergency channels on the weekend of March 24th and 25th. Their discovery of Emma Beattie's body on a riverbank that second day underscored the value that amateurs' skills bring to such scenes time and again. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Some big birthday plans in New York's Hudson Valley don't involve candles and cake, but you can expect dits and das.
Samuel Morse is turning 227 years of age this year. Well, okay, he was born on April 27, 1791, so he's long gone, but anyone who's ever known the thrill of CW knows his legacy is a big part of amateur radio life. The QSY Society in Poughkeepsie, New York will mark his birthday by visiting the estate in their community that had been his home, and will be giving a CW demonstration with real QSOs taking place for 4 hours. Scott Dunleavy, W2NTV, told Amateur Radio Newsline, quote, "We try to put on a good show. It's really fun to see the joy on one's face who's been away from the hobby for a while," end quote. People don't forget code, he said, even if they've been away from it for a while. People don't forget Samuel Morse either, or his birthday. So, if you're in the Hudson Valley, New York area on April 28, stop by Locust Grove and raise a fist, gently of course, in honor of the birthday boy. If you can't get to New York, work the special event station. Be listening for the call sign W2M in CW, of course. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Mike Askins, KE5CXP.
A global gathering of friends via amateur radio is in the works for April 18th.
On April 18th, World Amateur Radio Day will mark that day when the International Amateur Radio Union was formed in Paris in 1925. There was, of course, no IRLP or Echolink back then, but there is a group of relative newcomers operating on the Western Reflector, feeling just as festive over marking the occasion. The World Radio Network World Friendship Net is preparing its 4th year as participants in the global event, and it's making sure that all hams, even those who can't get on the HF bands, have a chance to get in on the action. The World Friendship Net will operate nonstop for 12 hours starting 1600 UTC on April 18th, and for the first year we'll be using a special event call sign W2W. Those who participate will get a commemorative special event QSL card this year as well. Organizer John DeReike said last year's success has encouraged even more participants this year. The 2017 participation logged 426 check-ins, with 45 international stations representing 23 different countries. This year's 12-hour net will be run by 8 different net controllers around the clock. Node 9251 is located on the World Conference server and part of the Nevada Amateur Radio Network. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
Another reminder that the 2018 nominating period for the Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award is now open. You'll find full information and the nominating form on our website, www.arnewsline.org. Just look at the top under the YHOTY tab. For the rest of this week's Amateur Radio News, please listen to the full Amateur Radio Newsline report online on a repeater near you or on shortwave radio station WTWW at 9930 and 5085 kilohertz. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at www.arnewsline.org. With Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, Mike Askins, KE5CXP, Kevin Trotman, N5PRE, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.